So, kundalini consolidation, reversing body count damage. And I think there's a female and a male perspective here as far as development goes. Equal things to consider, but in different areas. So let's talk about this fracturing, what this means, right? When you're sexually involved with someone that takes your attention and your consciousness, right? Um, for both sexes, um, they occupy a part of your mind that is highly pleasure associated, right? So just think about like Pavlov's dog that associating like a bell with food, right? Their mouth starts watering, right? That's true like from a pleasure sensor. I think that's true from a consciousness perspective. It takes a bit of your consciousness and you kind of get fractured, right? So the more experience you have, the more they call it like a dead fuck, right? Like they call it, um, a thousand dick stare, right? There's some brutal language in the manosphere for it, right? But I think there's a hint of truth. But I do think with awareness you can kind of move the needle, you can control things, you can understand what's happening. Um, they say the cat has 9 lives, and on the 10th life, the 10th body, they're dead. Um, that's one frame of reference. They're saying that over 20 people lose their mind. Like, it's a problem. It's an unrepairable problem. And, this is why historically virgin marriages were so valued. When you look at the statistics of happiness on two virgins, really, it's like 80% after 10 years. Um, as far as happiness, as far as stability of the marriage. Once that goes to 2, 3 bodies, that drops down to like 20%, right? And stays pretty stable. So, I mean, the question is 20% is not great, but it is 1 out of 5, right? So, I think it is possible to be able to move this consciousness into your present partner. That's the idea, right? Each one of these experiences here that occupies a part of your brain, you want to pull the power for them and use them in the present moment and use that as a full circuit exchange with the person that you're with. The more discipline you have at doing that, the more powerful you can give. The more that person will automatically pull from these experiences as well, pull energy away from them really, and then give back to you, right? So anything given, like you want to give that back naturally, energetically, right? So that's where synergy can happen. Where this ship breaks down is when one or the other person is so fractured, you can no longer see like your present moment attention is so minor that you don't have enough to have a large exchange, right? You don't have enough to start the engine, of a spark to start the engine, because so much has been spread out and given in the past, and it's occupying so much consciousness that you can't even see the other person really. Like you're not doing anything different sexually. No new pathways are established. So the question is, how do you get beyond that? I mean, once you understand. So I think, uh, from a feminine perspective, you need to understand that each partner that you have, like your body's designed to merge with them, right? Like your consciousness, you're designed to merge with this person's life, with this person's disposition, etc. And you can learn from that, you can grow from that, but if it's occupying your attention and taking away from your capacity to operate in the current present moment, in the current present relationship, then that's a problem. So you can do this with, just awareness, understanding that happened is helpful. meditation. You can be celibate. Once you are denying yourself and your suffering, etc., this is the process of pulling that attention in, and being able to use that in a current relationship, right? In a current exchange. And the more you can do that, because the virgin, right, doesn't have this fracturing, right? They have one experience, and then they're using that to exchange, right? It's a full circuit. You're giving, you're receiving. The more attention that you give, the more conscious attention you give, the more their kind of network and fracturing of your partner consolidates, and the more they can give you back, and the more you receive, the stronger you get. And so that's synergy, right? That's what happens when two people can give, but be more powerful than they are separately. So men can have the same kind of fracturing, same issues or similar issues, but probably for different reasons. Basically, you have a lot of porn watching. What does that affect on your brain, right? Your brain says, oh, have a harem. Basically, you're successful. Your attention is fractured. You don't have the energy to give to the current moment, to your current task. You don't have the same motivation. And because it's taking away from that, all this fracturing, your body already thinks that, hey, it's kind of fulfilled, like you have your mission done, but you're not growing really. You're not driven by like free access to naked women, right? So like you didn't have to earn that. And so without that growth, you become comfort seeking, etc. And you're basically more and more weak. You have less and less power to give to the other sex. I mean, your power is, to an extent, your capacity to provide. If your capacity to provide is squandered by, pleasure addiction, then you can't give, right? Your capacity to give to your current partner is weakened, and so on and so forth, right? So that's how the masculine cycle can degenerate, because again, modern times is not. I mean, men at the very top, like the top 5%, can become fractured, like the 30% of women in hookup culture, in the same way. But a lot of men are don't have the access, and it's to women, but it's also by their own choosing, like the structure that they've chose, how they've choose to devote their attention is not helping them in any sense. This is how the split is happening, right? Kundalini consolidation needs to happen on both sexual levels, whether that be, again, abstinence from porn, abstinence from hookup culture, being selective about who you engage with, but also consciousness, like how you engage with other people, like being able to pull back attention from them, from those experiences, to abstain from them, in order to gain more power in the present, to be able to also fully open, but also fully let go of the past, right? Because you can learn from these experiences, you can grow from them, you can be able to give more in your current relationship. So, but as long as you're not preoccupied, right? So as long as your total experiences is not creating total unrealistic, unworkable expectations in the present moment, which kills your current relationship. Be able to pull back that energy in order to give to the person that you're with, or to receive for the person that you're with. That's what's most healing to you, is to pull this attention in. And that's what's most healing to the other person. The more you give, the more the other person can give. And that's what can happen. So thanks for listening. Appreciate it.